Happy Father's Day, Dad. I'm up here in the Sawtooth on my weekend right before I start my new job, and it's been quite a doozy. I've seen super steep terrain, beautiful waterfalls. I've seen frozen lakes, frozen creeks, snow, and maybe even done a little bit of rock climbing. You'll have to come and see. But I had a lot of fun, and I'm glad to be getting out though. It's been a long weekend, and I am tired. At the trailhead, got myself some spaghetti from last night that I'm just gonna eat cold before I head out, so that way I don't have to carry out more food than I have to. Well, I'm at the check-in point for registering how long I'm going to be in the wilderness and when I plan on leaving and where I'm going. I'm going that way. It's only like a 3-mile hike to the base of the hill near the waterfalls, but then I think we gain about 300 feet of elevation just getting to there. But then I've got 1 more mile trekked to get up to the lake, and that section has about 1,200 feet of elevation gain, so it's going to be pretty steep. I'm going somewhere over this ridge, and then I'm going to be on just a hillside where there's 2 lakes that have been naturally created. And so I'm excited to get out there. I'm a little bit overpacked, but even though it's hard to tell probably from how sunny it is and how lightly I'm dressed, it's only about 55 degrees. And I imagine it's going to get cold tonight, so I brought a lot of stuff just for spending the night. So we'll see how it goes. Dropped my pack for a little bit to take a side trail to a waterfall. I gotta say, it's a lot nicer walking without all that extra weight. Sure can hear the water rolling. And now we're getting a nice view back where I came from. On the other side of that hill, Well, I'm definitely starting to see a lot more people. And boy, am I glad I brought this hiking stick, because on those steep sections near the waterfall, it came really in handy going up and down. I've already fallen down a cliff trying to get to a waterfall once, so I wasn't too keen on doing it again. Huh. Not too bad. I found. Now, all that I've got left to do is the 1 mile, but I need to get to the top of this. And it's going to be pretty steep, so I'm not looking forward to it, and I need to get some stamina. God, you can see the bugs. Got a very basic lunch. Got some summer sausage and some cheese. Man, pretty crude. Here's a spot. While I was sitting here having lunch, some less than inviting clouds have rolled in. So I'm thinking it's time to pack up and oh boy, steep. There's the falls. I better hope I don't fall. That's the big falls. Finally found a nice spot that I can sit down and not worry about falling down the hill. But man, this is steep. This is pretty aggressive terrain, but we're chugging along just fine. For some reason, actually, my legs don't even feel all that tired, so I think we're going to be fine getting up to the top. I am seeing more and more snow up there, so I am starting to think I'm probably going to be camped amongst the snow, and it's probably going to be a little chilly. I'm really glad I grabbed that extra blanket. So hopefully I'll see you at the top. Getting very close to the top. You can see I've made a bit of an adjustment here. I broke out the coat because I started to feel a couple raindrops. It hasn't started raining full force yet, but I had to get that blanket inside because I want to make sure that thing is dry for tonight, because I'm sure I'm gonna need it because there is snow up here. So I'm hoping that the rain doesn't actually ever come and it's just the cold, but if the rain does, it might be just a long evening and night in the tent. We will see. We got the tent set up. Now it's just time to populate this thing. The first bed set up. It's coming along pretty good. I've got my sleeping bag, which is a flip sleeping bag. It's still the one I had in Boy Scouts. It says it's a 25-40. It's really not a 25. There's no way. I don't think we're gonna probably drop below freezing tonight. I'd imagine we're gonna definitely get down in the 40s, but I also think with this thick sleeping pad, the tarp, the tent, and then I've got this blanket on top, I'm probably already pretty set. But I also have brought pajamas, lots of extra lots of extra socks, shirt, and coat, and so if worst comes to worst, I'll be wearing 4 layers of pants and shirts inside a sleeping bag underneath this big blanket. And I just, given all of my experience, I find it really hard to believe that I'm not going to be able to stay warm tonight. actually got one more chore before I get to really just kick back and relax, which is water. I'm running a little bit low. That and my other water bottle's empty. So I'm going down to the creek to fill it up. It is beautiful. You just don't know how dusty and dirty it is out until you take your shoes off for a second and see the difference between your leg and your foot. Although it seems like a decent amount of dirt still somehow got into my shoe. And I knew that I got myself a little banged up while we were going, but it's not too bad. Just really dirty. I'm gonna have to make sure I clean all this stuff good when I get home, because all of my laundry is gonna be dirty. It's been actually rather pleasant. I've seen raindrops kind of fall just lightly, intermittently, but right now nothing's coming down and the sun's actually breaking through a bit. It's already 5:45, so probably gonna have to get myself to make some sort of dinner and eat it, even though I'm not really that hungry right now. Our wonderful dinner tonight is a thing of cup noodles. It's a protein added one, so it's got 16 grams of protein. And then a thing of herring fillets. We'll see how that goes. I feel like I usually tend to get sick of them after one can. And unfortunately, I feel like a lot of my protein on this trip is herring fillets, tuna, and salmon in cans. So I may never want to eat that again by the time I'm done with this trip. Get a little bit of lake water, since it kind of sucks having to do that filter, and since I'm boiling it anyways, I'll just let that go. I remembered to drain it this time, because last time I was camping I spilled it all over myself. Yummy. Well, I ended up absolutely demolishing dinner. So I'm probably going to end up having some snacks, but I've got everything kind of just set tight, ready to go back in the tree when I need to. Boiled up the top ramen, ate all that herring. Honestly, I ate the herring before the top ramen water was even done. You can see the mosquitoes are back in force, even though I sprayed bug spray on myself only like 30 minutes ago. And I've got one more thing of water boiled up, and I've got some tea in there. And so I'm going to kind of just hold on to this warm cup and sip it and enjoy the view. I just thought about the fact that I didn't eat anything else after those two things. Hope I don't come to regret it. I might be coming back to visit the food before it's dark. But once it's dark, I really don't want to come back and get it, because it's not close to the tent. And I don't want it to be close to the tent. I like it being way over here like it is. I have decided that I was going to keep the Jetboil with me, and I was going to put some water from the creek in it, and I'm just gonna have it sitting right outside the door of the tent, but still underneath the rain fly. So that way in the morning I can get that thing started, have myself a nice thing of tea right off the bat and warm myself up before I have to get out, because I think my estimate of the temperature was probably pretty far off. It's already about 50 degrees. The sun just set, so I think it's going to be a little bit chillier. I think I'm well equipped for it, but we will see how this night goes. Maybe I end up boiling that water just to stay warm. Well, it's literally almost exactly 8 o'clock. It started to drizzle a little bit, and I was done doing stuff outside. I got the food bag all up in the air and ate some more food. Just kind of sat around. And so now I'm getting ready to settle in for the night.
Good morning. It's almost 6 a.m. on the dot. I've been inside the tent since almost 8 p.m. on the dot yesterday, so I guess I've been in here for 10 hours now. Got a lot of reading, and I actually like the book I brought. It's actually very cozy in here. I'm not very keen to get out. It's about 45 degrees inside the air of the tent, but it's about 80 degrees inside my sleeping bag right now, so it's going to be really hard to get out of bed because I'm very warm right now. I'm very happy because I didn't even have to layer up. You can see I'm using my pajamas as partially a pillow. All I'm wearing is long johns and a t-shirt. And I stayed very warm throughout the whole night, so I was very happy about that. Gave me something a little bit more comfortable than my sleeping bag case and my shorts as a pillow. Those aren't very comfortable. But I've been inside the tent too long. I should probably get some water and some food in me. I'll see you when I get out. Sun's still not up. Must have been a little bit colder than the 39 over by my tent because the ice is frozen a little bit. Imagine that'll go away pretty quick once the sun comes up. I'm starting to worry these might not have been instant oats. Well, we made it to the next lake, and it's just as frozen, if not more frozen than the last one, so I'm glad I didn't bother lugging my fishing poles up the hill. You can actually see it right down there. That's my tent right there. So it's a quick little jaunt just straight up a hill. The trail doesn't have any switchbacks. And yeah, I think I'm going to probably spend most of the rest of the day up here. I'm debating trying to hike over this way. There is a third lake up above that ridge line. However, it's an extra like 600 feet of elevation, and it just looks like a lot of work. So I think I'm going to check out this ridge line, take a break, and then I'll probably check out that way and see what the situation's like. Since it's probably been a long time since it snowed up here, the snow is actually pretty solid. And so as long as I just kind of walk along and spear the ground in front of me, I haven't really had much of a issue with the idea of falling through. And honestly, it's a lot easier walking than all the rocks. Quite the view. And down there you can see the lake I came from. Those marshes I started in at the beginning. And I don't think we're going to get to see it. But the car should be somewhere right over there. I've got a slightly better vantage point. And if you zoom in all the way, there's my car in the parking lot. Right there. So, we've come a long way and a lot of ways up. You can't even see the bottom of the valley because of the depth of it. But this whole view is just spectacular. And then the lake behind me. I've just been sitting here admiring the beauty of the landscape, and I noticed what looks like a tree growing almost sideways out of that cliff. I don't think I'll ever be able to zoom in good enough to do it justice, but it just looks kind of funny. Just sitting out there. I feel like there's gotta be a geocache hiding somewhere. This just seems too tantalizing. There's too many spots one could get put. You know, could it be in that crack there, and down there, in a slot back there, up here? Well, I'd say I'm not getting up that. The sign at the trailhead said burned area at own risk. And these are the kinds of risks that it's talking about. My goodness. This tree barely holding on in here, and yet it's still standing. It's incredible. And I assume that trunk much shorter but similar. Many trees did not survive. Well, it started to rain a little bit. It's been a while since I took a video. I really ended up liking that hill that I was on. And I stayed up there till probably about 1 o'clock-ish, and then I came back down. Read a crap ton of my book, and just kind of hung out. It was a really nice time. Boiled up some water and had a little cup of Velveeta noodles, although it's meant for the microwave, so they didn't really cook very well. But I also had a can of smoked trout, and that was really, really tasty. Thank you, Mom and Dad, for that. It was really good. Yeah, and I've just been sitting down at this lower lake for a while and noticed the rain started to come down a little bit more aggressive, and I decided it would be good to just retreat into the tent for a bit. So I'm going to do a little housekeeping on the tent, clean things up because it's kind of disorganized right now, and yeah, we'll see how it goes from here. It started hailing and raining pretty bad. Got me thinking maybe I should have left today. It was so nice, but it's kind of late now. We've got trenches dug around the tent so that way water doesn't get in. It seems to be holding well. So I guess I'm going to be pulling a report of the weather conditions and hoping that it's not too bad to leave. So we will see. Unfortunately, it's 4 o'clock. The weather doesn't lit up at all. I might be a little bit hungry tonight because I'm not very interested in getting out in this weather if I can help it. Yeah. Rain calmed down for a little bit. Finally was able to get out of the tent. I'd scraped a trench along that side from the inside, and I went back through with my hiking stick and have kind of extended it so that way any rain landing on this side will go down out. This side seems to be somewhat sloped away. I haven't had any issues with water on this side. I did notice water was pooling up on the top, so I've tried attaching a fishing line to this point here, but I am noticing that it's still pooling a little. It's not as much, so I'm hoping that it will naturally cascade off of this if it has to.
But that's the damage report for the rain. The sky's actually thinned a little bit, although it looks pretty nasty up that way. So I think I'm gonna try getting some food in me. So that way if it starts raining again or gets real nasty, I can just hunker down. Last time I had this curry, I just poured it straight into the jet boil on like low, and then I realized that the bag is microwave safe, and so it might be a smarter idea to just drop the bag into the water and let it get warm that way, especially since I didn't bring a bowl. And then once the water is boiling, I've got some instant rice. Although I'm unsure if whether I want to actually try cooking it, because I, again, don't have a bowl. You know, one nice thing that I didn't think about really much until right now was today, there really hasn't been any mosquitoes out. They've hidden away for the weather, I suppose. But I don't think they're going to be coming out the rest of the night, which is nice. It stopped raining for now. I can usually just tell by whether or not there's something on the water, because to be honest, the rain's been so light that I can't even really feel it. But I'll probably see you again when I'm getting ready to go to bed. Yeah, dinner was pretty good.
It's about 2:30 a.m. I laid down and kind of fell asleep, woke up, whatever, and just never really got back up. Just been hanging out. It's nice and comfy. Never really rained hard again, but I was just kind of laying here, and whatever reason, while I was just laying here, I thought I felt a kind of bump on my head, and so I spent the last 30 minutes using my phone trying to get a video where I could see the side of it, and I'm like 50-50 on whether it's just a scab or a tick, but I can't get the camera to focus good enough to tell, so I guess I'm just gonna have to live with that until I can just have someone look, but I'll see you in the morning.
Well, I ended up sleeping in until 7:30. I guess this pillow was just too comfortable. But really, I got up at 4:30 and had to go to the bathroom, and I think around 6, I started to fall asleep again and just woke up. So that's the real reason. But it's looking really nice out. I forgot to record taking down the camp, but I've got everything packed up. It's like 9:30, so getting out of here a lot later than I'd like to, but I slept in a little bit, and honestly I think that extra sleep's gonna help out. I've dropped down quite a few layers because I know I'm gonna get real warm walking, so we'll see how this trail goes. I'm gonna get on the road. flat land, finally. Made it to the bottom of that hill. It's gonna be real smooth sailing from here on out. There's not much left between me and the car, except for a water crossing. A long way down. But that water crossing might prove to be tricky because it's rained a bit since I came through, and that log was already halfway in the water when I passed it. So we might get our feet wet still, but we'll see. I'm gonna stop right over here. This is where I had lunch on Friday. And I think I've earned a little snack and some water. Looks like the sun decided to come out. Got blue skies and everything. That's nice. Right when I take my jacket off, perfect. Time to go find this creek crossing and hope that I don't get my feet wet. I was also, while I was eating my lunch, kind of going through the videos, and if I'm doing my math right, the last time I saw someone was around noon on Friday, and it is 11 on Sunday. So it's been 47 hours since I've seen another person, and I'd imagine for most of that I was nowhere even near another person. So we'll see how long it takes once I get back on the main trail to run into a person. Made it across the creek just fine. It's a little scary. I ended up taking a tumble over a log that was a little rotten and I stepped through it. But we're on the main trail, and so now it's nice, easy gravel all the way back to the car. So I hope you enjoyed this. Happy Father's Day. Love you, Dad. And peace. In case you were wondering how I managed to get this shot, I used some rubber bands to hold my phone inside the tree branch. I hate you. I'm gonna go down and try to movie magic. Sick lunch. Got some summer sausage and some cheese. Mainly because these weren't in my pack